On March 24th of 2020, in the middle of a global pandemic, mega producers Swizz Beatz and Timbaland appeared on Instagram Live together for an unannounced head-to-head song battle, kicking off what is now known as Verzuz. Two legacy artists, producers, or songwriters face off against one another by each taking turns playing their hits and telling the stories behind them. So, how did an art form ignited by rap beef evolve into a social media hit? This is Billboard Explains, the evolution of battle rap and the Verzuz effect. Live battles are in the DNA of black music, with origins dating back to Jamaican sound clashes of the 1950s, which heavily influenced the rapid-fire trade-offs commonly seen in the streets of the Bronx in the 70s.
It was really about showing who was the better rapper, the better MC.
One of the most well-known New York battles took place in 1981 between rapper Busy B. Starsky and treacherous three-member Kool Moe Dee. Then came the explosion of diss tracks throughout the 80s, with one of the first credited to Roxanne Shante of Juice Crew, and a feud known as the Roxanne Wars. Since then, diss tracks have produced some of hip-hop's most memorable work, from Jay-Z and Nas in the early 2000s to most recently with Pusha T and Drake.
The thing about a battle is that it's beef. It's not friendly, it's not good sportsmanship. So it was hard for Tim and Swizz to convince some legacy artists who didn't want to be part of that to sign on to Verzuz initially.
Continuing what Swizz and Tim first started, in April of 2020, T-Pain and Lil Jon demonstrated what Verzuz could be in its purest form.
We were applauding each other's work, and which is what Verzuz is all about. It's about giving people their flowers, you know what I mean, while they're here right now.
With that energy shift, Swizz and Tim were able to reassure hesitant participants that Verzuz is not a feud. It's about the celebration of black music.
And it came at a crucial time. The community needed fellowship, and we needed healing.
On May 26, 2020, the now infamous video of the police killing of George Floyd brought the world to a standstill. The preceding weeks had also seen the shooting of Ahmaud Arbery and news of the police killing of Breonna Taylor. Swizz and Tim reached out to Kirk Franklin and Fred Hammond, both known for bridging the gap between gospel and secular music.
And on May 28th, a timely and much needed Verzuz The Healing was announced.
Then, following one of the most engaged periods of civil rights protests in the United States this century, on June 19th, John Legend and Alicia Keys celebrated the country's acknowledgement of Juneteenth for the first time with a special Verzuz that raised money to support the black community.
There's always positive you can pull from the negative, and that's what we did in 2020.
Since the start, Verzuz has grown into what Timbaland calls a museum, showcasing songwriters and producers, rappers, soul singers, dancehall DJs, and even R&B groups. And not only have these newly evolved battles served as entertainment and comfort, but artists have also seen major benefits.
I think they call it the Verzuz effect. After Verzuz, everything goes up for you. So yeah, it was great.
The streaming bump that participants reap post-battle is significant, according to Nielsen Music MRC data.
And beyond the gains in streaming, crucial to the culture, Verzuz introduces legacy artists to an entirely new generation of listeners.
Be assured, Swizz Beatz and Timbaland are just getting started. Expect Verzuz to expand even further, beyond hip-hop and R&B, from Instagram to in-person.